ranking delusional beliefs women have about dating from fantasyland to sometimes true. I deserve a 6'4" CEO model who makes $100,000 a year. That man is like 0.01% of the population and has more options than you can even count. You are not competing for him, you are in line behind a million other women who have the exact same checklist. S tier. I only attract toxic men. At some point you might want to look in the mirror because if every guy you're attracting is toxic, you might be the pattern. You are either picking them or creating the toxicity yourself. B tier. Where are all the good men? Well, they're probably in your DMs right now, but you just called them nice or too boring. And look, maybe they are, but what you're asking for is there. But you won't look twice until you're 34 and the roster has dried up. C tier. I want a traditional man, but I am not traditional. She wants him to pay, lead, and protect, but cooking, cleaning, or submitting to anything? Nah, that's oppression. Pick a lane. You can't have 1950s benefits with modern day expectations. S tier. I bring a lot to the table. Ask her what she brings to the table and she will buffer like a broken Wi-Fi connection. My presence, energy, and vibes, that's not a contribution, that is showing up. Meanwhile, her checklist for you is probably 3 pages long. A tier. I can change him. Here's the thing. Sometimes women do help men level up, but there's a big difference between bringing out his potential and building a man from scratch. One works, the other is just going to burn you out. D tier. All men are trash. She's not dating all men, she is dating the same guy with a different name 6 times in a row. I don't know about you, but after a while, maybe the trash collector is the problem here. A tier. If you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. This quote sometimes looks an awful lot like a red flag disguised as a standard. If her worst is emotional warfare at 2 a.m. and her best is tolerable for a weekend, run. C tier. Height doesn't matter. Says height isn't a big deal, but her Hinge bio says must be 6 foot minimum to ride. Her words and actions are living in 2 completely different zip codes. A tier. Men are intimidated by me. Sometimes they might not actually be intimidated and they just don't want the headache. Labeling yourself as intimidating sounds like a lot better of an excuse than just saying you're hard to deal with. B tier. Body count doesn't matter for women. Typically the ones that are saying this are the ones that don't want theirs to count against them. Tell that to any guy who's thinking long term and watch his face. If it really didn't matter, nobody would lie about it. A tier.
I'm not gonna get into it too much on this video, but women test men all the time. Like, all we ever do is test men, and I feel like we don't even do it intentionally, but like, half of the things that we say are a test. Half of the things that we do are a test. In my opinion. I feel like that's not like talked about enough, or like, maybe I just don't know, like, do men realize that we're testing them, or do you guys have no idea that we're testing you? Because like, if we're out, I'll give you one example. We're out at a bar, and I'm like, oh my god, that girl's so pretty. And you're like, yeah, she's really hot. That was a test. It was a test. And like, I'm not saying that she's gonna get like the ick and be like over you if you like fail it, but it just like gives her data points. So like, women, we just collect data points the whole time we're interacting with you. And I just wonder like, if men are like clued into that, or if they have absolutely no idea that it's going on. Cause I feel like, maybe I'm crazy, but I feel like that women do that all the time.
Why are there so many single women out here that are struggling to find a man? Well, I'm going to tell you the reason, but you're not going to like the answer. Now, this may not apply to you, so don't take offense. But if you do, maybe you need to reflect why it makes you offended. Honestly, a lot of women treat men like trash. A lot of women take men for granted. A lot of women want men to take accountability for their actions and what they do. But boy, if you ask a woman to take accountability for her faults and her actions, it's straight to signing divorce papers. But my question is, why are women so resistant to taking accountability? Like really, what is the reason why you won't take accountability for your actions? I know for me personally, because I was this woman for many, many years, like most of my marriage, I realized it's because I thought I had to be perfect and that society judged me based on my level of perfection. And if I dared to take accountability for my faults and actions, then I would be even more demonized. But the reality is, me not taking accountability was making it worse. And I don't think a lot of women understand the fact that we are a lot of the problem. I'm not saying we're the whole problem, but at least on my platform, on this side of things, a lot of men are trying. They're putting in the effort. They're doing the things that they need to do. And women are taking their husbands for granted. They got married because they wanted to be married, not because they wanted to be a wife. So you single ladies struggling to find a man, most men are not even wanting to get married anymore because they've dealt with bad relationship after bad relationship of women taking them for granted and treating them like trash. And honestly, I can't blame them. If you put all the effort in for a year, didn't get anything back, you wouldn't tolerate that either. So why are we expecting men to just sit down, shut up, and take it? You would advise every one of your girlfriends, girl, don't take that from him. But why should he take that from you? And honestly, I truly believe that lack of accountability is one of the #1 reasons why marriages are failing. We refuse to take ownership of the things that we need to take ownership for. But I can promise you, if you take accountability for your actions and work really hard to fix them, your marriage can look completely different. Because y'all, that's where I'm sitting right now. The problem is you just gotta swallow your pride, do what it takes to make a change.
First truths you need to understand as men if you're going to be in relationships with women. She has the power to completely destroy your life just by her say so, and there's little to nothing that you can do to defend yourself. can take everything that you own. She can take your kids. She can make the schedule for you to never see them again. And she can even put you in prison just by her say so. She can make up an entire narrative about you as a person, who you are, who you want to become, things that you did. She can make up an entire story, tell her friends, tell the internet, tell her family. She will have zero proof, zero evidence, but she will always be believed. So tread lightly. And the other part about that is she could have your friends, your family, everyone that's close to you turn on you in the blink of an eye, even with little to no proof.
And I wonder.
I'm starting to understand why some women allow their emotions to guide them through life, because when they use their brains, they formulate thoughts like this. Viewer discretion is advised.
How would you men feel if women start coming out saying, look, I don't want no relationship with you. I don't want no relations with you. I just want to you, slut you out, and send you by your way. How would you feel?
Who's gonna tell her? Who's gonna, you know what? All right, fine, I'll do it. Sweetheart, for the record, and the record only, there are already women that say and do that very thing. Now, it is not granted to every man. That is very true. You got to be a particular kind of man or type of man in order to receive that kind of treatment. However, that approach to sex doesn't change anything for men. We actually enjoy it a lot of the time because most of us, believe it or not, don't want nothing from y'all except the cat. And before y'all try to get my comments say, oh, this was wrong, man, no. I need you to understand that most of y'all are not relationship material the way y'all think y'all are, which in turn makes choosing a partner quite difficult, especially in today's day and age. And I know that's going to be a little difficult for a lot of y'all to digest. However, if you just take a step back, breathe, and just hear me out, you will understand a lot of y'all aren't who y'all think y'all are when it comes to relationships. Y'all allow social media and y'all friends to inflate y'all egos and have y'all believing that y'all are just these well-rounded individuals ready for relationships, marriage, and children. Whole time, some of y'all suffering from daddy issues, a lack of self-discipline, a lack of consideration, a lack of empathy, a lack of selflessness, understanding, patience, work ethic, compassion, kindness, thoughtfulness for another individual that is not yourself. A lot of y'all are wanting relationships thinking this is just something that's just going to benefit you and you should be the only one receiving. And that is the biggest problem within itself. But you know what? I digress. To finish addressing what she mentioned at the beginning of the video, sweetheart, that is not going to do anything but make men feel better. And if you don't believe me, just go ahead and try it. Let me know how it goes for you. Yeah, keep the change.
Yo, why do women lie to each other?
Two.
3. Thanks. Well,
No way.
I would say 3 and then 4. 3. I'm not saying you don't have a personality, but I'm like,
Oh, I'm 5 again.
This is final.
I know y'all can't be serious. Oh, we know it's bad.
Do you want to start off?
Gio over there. And then, like, just shift down. I think Michelle was the most attractive. Could you switch with her? I forgot, they can't even hear me.
Somewhere.
Yeah. You got a point. Okay.
I switch her and her. You go over there. Or,
Oh, those two. Okay. All right.
and then you over there. You switch. Yeah, that's pretty much.
And I kind of like her vibe. I think her whole aesthetic is very nice. So for me, it's either 1 or 2 up here. I think that Maria was the most attractive for me. Are we content with 5 being 5?
I'm not.
Where do you currently want 5?
I want her at least 3.
So 5 goes up.
She should be a 4 because it's like meeting in the middle.
I think 4 is fine. But we're going to get ripped a new one. I don't want to be the pointer here.
Guys are not afraid to be more blunt. They were straight up, hey, you're attractive, you're not. But girls were like, I don't want to be rude. You know, we're all beautiful in our own way.
This is how it really is. Women just lie to each other. They don't tell them they need to go to the gym or do whatever they got to do. They'll just be like, no, you're pretty the way you are. When that's as men, we'll tell each other, yo, you gaining weight, yo, you fat, yo, you need to fix that. More times than not, the guy's gonna be like, yo, you right, dog. I gotta do this, I gotta do that. And in this one, it just makes perfect sense. They're just not being truthful. You know, they got the biggest girl there thinking that she's the second hottest, and it's just not true. And when the men come out, you know, they're brutally honest. Like, nah, this is what attractiveness to us looks like in the real world, where women will just let their friend be fat, sloppy, you know, smoke cigarettes like crazy, do all types of shit that harm their body and, you know, not help them be better. They'll just tell them you're fine the way you are. And not for nothing, in the real world, that's just This ain't a Disney movie, and I like that the men came out and set shit straight. I wonder how the women took it after, but we probably know they were in their feelings and didn't agree. But welcome to the real world, ladies. It's not the way you think it is.
And Sarah is right. A lot of these modern women, and this is what men, they say that men are bitter, but when men understand that women be out here with no proof, and when I say no proof, that's exactly what I mean. No proof, not trying to get any proof, clearly lying, and trying to not only turn people against you, they try to turn your family against you. They try to turn your mom and your dad against you. I'm thinking about a situation right now when a woman went and cheated on the man. The woman went and cheated on the man. The man is sitting up here talking about the woman left me. The woman left me. And his ex-wife went out there, did something she wasn't supposed to be doing, tried to come back to him. And he's like, no, I'm not dealing with that. Absolutely. You went out there and cheated on me. The woman had the audacity to go to his sister, and his sister, stupid behind, had the audacity to try to get on the phone and shame him for not talking. Oh, that's the mother of your children. Everybody makes mistakes. Are you slow? Are you slow? What are you talking about right now? Shut up.
The older I get, the more I realize, the more you improve yourself as a man, the less dating options you actually have. Let me explain. If you're a dude and you have a good career and you have your own place, you're in shape, you're ambitious, maybe you're doing content or have another business on the side, you kind of need someone that's special. Like, if you met a girl and all she brought to the table was her looks, and all she wanted to do was travel and party and do rich people, like, it's just not gonna work out. Like, your lifestyles are not gonna align because becoming exceptionally successful is so hard that you either need somebody in that traditional support role that just believes in you 1000% and is just grateful for whatever you can provide in the moment, or you need someone that's also in the trenches, whether that's with you or doing their own thing, and they'll just understand the realities of the grind and like what it really takes. The problem is both of these types are already rare on their own, but they also have to match your physical preferences. So yeah, as you raise your standards for yourself, you're also going to raise the standards for who you allow into your life. And if you keep going, there's just going to be less and less people that are going to meet those requirements.
This is game that most people don't talk about.
They're so true.
Yeah.
When you chase a woman, you're trying to convince her to be with you.
Yes.
But when they come at you, and they got together and they attractive, it's a different ball game.
Totally
it's
different.
Conversation is more easier. They call you because they understand being thoughtful and considerate. They already know they want to f you.
Yeah.
They already know.
They already know.
They want to.
You're f***ing on the first night and you're not even working for it.
Not even working for it because they
it's
want
already there. No, they want to fuck you.
You don't even have to ask them to spend the night.
Yes.
They staying.
Yeah.
If you go to your hotel room, they getting out the car. And you ain't gonna say you want to stay?
Yeah.
Nah, she coming with you. Every man can be successful if he puts the work in. You ain't got to be making millions. No. If you put the work in, you're taking care of your health, you look good, you smell amazing, you go to work every day. You got great conversation.
Yeah.
You, over the years, you know where to take a woman to eat, certain women, and where not to take certain women. But you know how to pour into a woman. You know how to give a game. You know how to make her a better person.
This post here says, she was easy, bro, she liked you. And the one above it says, I have tasted the genuine desire of a woman in love, therefore I can no longer chase women. When you experience what it's like to be with a woman who genuinely wants you, and like beyond just wanting you in like the physical, like she want it. Besides that, like when you come across a woman that genuinely loves you, you really don't chase women anymore. Like you can't chase them, or you might get involved with some women and things don't go well. But as far as you like really pining after a woman, chasing after her, it kind of stops after you experience love. Like, because you kind of realize how fake, like when you experience love, you realize when a woman really likes you. Like I remember I was with this one shorty she would ask me, did you eat today, right? And if I hadn't eaten an adequate amount to her liking, she would get upset with me. She's like, you need to eat more. Or if I had work I didn't get done, she would not want me to talk to her until she knew I was done with work. Like, she didn't want to bother me. Of course she wanted to talk to me, right? But if she called me, I'd be like, hey, what's up? She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm working. She's like, call me back when you're done working. I don't want to distract you. And she would hang up. When you have a woman that considers you, considers your thoughts, emotions, your time, your priorities, things like that, what do you look like chasing a woman ever again?
Whenever women come online and complain about the level of attractiveness of the men that they themselves are attracting, I automatically assume it's rage bait. Because there's no way you lack that much self-awareness to think that you are so grand and above and beyond these petty little men that try and speak to you on a daily basis. Most men shoot where they think they're gonna score. Let's start there. So if a man is a 5, he's probably going to shoot for other 5s, 6s, 4s, maybe a 7 if he's feeling lucky. Most 5s are not gonna shoot for 10s unless they feel like shooting for the moon one day. But on a day-to-day, most men are shooting where they think they're gonna score. And yes, he looked at you and said, yeah, that girl's probably on my level. She might say yes to me. And if that offends you, feel free to look in the mirror and change some things. And we have to remember that we are not the ones that set our place in the dating market. We have this idea that we are all 10s out of 10s because I said I'm a 10, so I'm a 10. And that's not up to you. It's actually up to the men. And feel free to ask one to see where you rank, because those ones that are coming online and just asking random men, they are getting comments filled with things that are going to make them very insecure in the future, and I don't wish that on my worst enemy. So ask a trusted male friend, would you?
To the women that take over a day and a half to respond to a text message, just know that I get it. Lesser men would probably think it's an obvious ploy to try and make yourself look busier and more popular than you actually are, but I know that when you are not performing heart transplants on orphans or adopting turtles with HIV, you're training for both the summer and winter Olympics. And even though when we met you were waiting for the bus, the only bus you take now is your tour bus around the country, because you're also an accomplished folk singer and banjoist. And the selfies you put up during that time were not a blatant slap in the face to me, but instead a attempt from your management team to try and make you look more human and normal, which we now know you're not. So just the fact that you took the half second to heart my message shows how truly selfless and generous you are. And if you were ever able to respond with a few words or even a full sentence, that would be life-changing for me. But of course, no rush.
I'm gonna say this with my whole chest and never change my stance. A woman's worthiness to be in a committed relationship should not be determined by what she did when she was single, when she was not in a committed relationship. If she was in a committed relationship and she had a track history of cheating, that's something different. But what a woman does when she is single does not determine how she's going to move forward in a future committed relationship. That should not be what a man is focused on. It doesn't matter if a woman has 100 bodies or 2 bodies. She can be a horrible partner with 0 bodies. She could be a horrible partner with 100 bodies. The bodies is not what determines whether she's going to be a good committed partner or not. Quite frankly, men who focus on past partners typically have low self-esteem. There is a fear of being compared to past partners. There's a fear of measuring up to past partners. And there's this constant need for reassurance. Instead of focusing on past partners, what the guy should be doing is collecting data. Getting to know this woman over time to see if this person fits into their life. Are they trustworthy? Are they honest? Are they ambitious? Are they nurturing? You find that out over time, not by looking at a person's past partners.
A lot of people say men become mean when they stop loving you. What if it's because they got tired? They start to call them toxic and heartless when they start to pull back. But what if It's because they've been emotionally exhausted for a very long time. Men are not always loud about their pain. They don't express their feelings like us women do. To be honest, a lot of men try to fix things quietly, tolerate things quiet, and carry the pressure silently. When you have a good man, you don't appreciate him. Y'all push and y'all push and y'all push him to us, and he becomes cold and distant and not so patient. All of a sudden he changed. All of a sudden it's a switch up. You have to understand that he didn't change overnight. He literally got to a point where he stopped fighting for something that he felt that he was losing anyway. A man that constantly feels unheard, unappreciated, and disrespected doesn't know how to communicate that in a long conversation. Y'all have to understand, men lead for peace too. Just like women, men want calm, respect, loyalty, and emotional safety. When every conversation turns into conflict and every mistake turns into judgment and every effort that he puts in goes unnoticed, you're going to notice that something inside of him starts to close. Sometimes, to be honest, they don't even leave when the relationship ends. They leave way before that. He leaves the moment, the place where he was trying to build peace, now constantly feels like he's at war.
Well, you can't even say that the man is being sarcastic. Because these modern women, they do take all day to text back. And they be making it seem like they so busy. Oh, well, you know, I think one woman was talking about a guy that she actually liked. A guy that she thought was actually had potential. Straight up ignoring that man. That man tried to set a date. It might have been he tried to set a date and she couldn't do it for good reason. And so they set something else up. And I think he might have not been able to do something for a good reason. So he came back the next time and said, you know, okay, let's go ahead and, you know, set something up. I'm not busy. You're not busy. This woman went in there and put something on her schedule that was not even there. Oh, I don't know if I want to even go out with him, you know, because my friends might have something I'm completely booked. I don't think you're booked on that day, the day that he asked. Oh, well, you know, you never know. You got to keep your options open. But I thought you said that you were booked. I thought you said you were booked. Oh, well, you know, I'm not going to pick a man over my friends. You know, if they want to hang out, then and they already booked me to hang out, basically, then I'm going to go hang out with them. But they didn't book you to hang out. Your schedule's clear. That's why he's asking you, let's go out on this date. They think they're so important. They think there's so much other stuff going on that's going to be more important. And mind you, she's saying this stuff online. She's saying this stuff about the man that she likes, where the man that she likes can hear her, and all of the other men that might be potential suitors for her can hear her. That might take her out on a date, can hear her. And see in real time. No, nobody, this is not AI. This is her talking. And then they wonder why they get disrespected.
Guys, I would gravitate towards women that have these qualities. Listen to my words on this. And if you need help breaking toxic patterns, my link and ebook is in the bio. Number one, a woman who is soft. Energetically soft. And if you've been with a woman who has that soft energy, you will understand what I'm saying. That brings out a lot in you. It brings out that protector mode, that person who wants to provide. And when I say provide, I don't mean financially, I'm saying emotionally. So go towards women that are soft. Number two, go towards women that are appreciative. If they don't appreciate the energy, the time, the effort that you're putting into the relationship or into her, that is a major red flag. And it's extremely disrespectful. And number three, this is the most important one, a woman who can stay kind under stress. A woman who can be stressed and still be respectful and loving and soft. All of those qualities are still kept even when she feels like she is under an intense amount of pressure. That is somebody that you should gravitate towards.
This man that is exhausted, that is overworked and underpaid, or his dreams haven't paid off yet, or he feels like the dating pool doesn't even take him serious because he doesn't make $100,000 plus a year. Lord forbid he be 5'10", Lord forbid he be 5'8", and now it's even harder for him. This is a good man. He's ready to be loyal. He's ready to be committed. He's ready to take care of his wife. But women won't even take him serious because he's not 6 feet tall. There are so many intangible pressures that we as women put on men, and so many intangible pressures that men have in themselves. And I'm not saying that we don't have emotional toil. I'm saying that we need to be aware that the world revolves around us, like us being he and her, not us around women. And that's why I think people are just not doing well in relationships. I really do think that. We as women, we think that we have it harder because we're seeking needs and fulfilling them before they're expressed. We're making sure that we are porn stars in the bedroom, or that we are great moms. We're keeping our bodies fit. Yes, we're doing all of these things.
And that because of all of those things, you should kiss the ground and walk it. What are you saying?
No.
That you just, what are you,
No,
what?
I'm saying that's not all there is. The world does not revolve around us. The same way that we're doing all of these things is the same way that...
How old are you?
I'm 29.
Are you single?
Yes.
Why are you single right now?
Because the men are not enough rich to take care of me.
So you're looking for a rich man?
Yes. Yes, I want to be spoiled.
Why does he have to be rich?
Because I want to be spoiled. Because I make my own money and I need to be dominated.
So you couldn't dominate the man who you were out earning?
I'm submissive. No, I cannot.
So the man that you want, what do you expect from him financially?
I expect him to change my life and, I don't know, take care of me, give me security.
He has to pay for everything?
Yes.
Take you on trips?
Yes, of course.
Whatever you want, it doesn't matter the cost, he should be able to get it?
Yes, exactly.
But you're 29 now.
Yes.
Do you think that if you met a multimillionaire in Miami, that he's gonna say, yeah, I'll give that to her? Or is he gonna give it to the 23-year-old girl?
I look young, I look fresh, I don't smoke, I don't drink, so I think I look 23.
Okay.
Do you?
That question's up for debate, but he gives you that, right? How do you support that multimillionaire in his life?
Just me.
Just you?
Yes.
But what do you bring?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Yeah. It's hard to be a woman today, so, and we get down, so.
Do you know what kind of man scares women the most today? It's not the rich man. It's not the handsome one. It's not the loud, confident guy either. It's the man who was once broken and rebuilt himself. That man isn't afraid of abandonment. He's already felt real silence. He's already faced deep loneliness. He went through the hardest moment of his life and realized he could still stand on his own. He learned to cook for himself, to clean, to build his own routine, to wake up with purpose and sleep with peace, to live without depending on anyone. And when a man truly learns to be alone, he becomes very difficult to control. He doesn't chase attention. He doesn't beg for love. He doesn't accept crumbs or confusion. He knows his worth. He sets boundaries. He walks away when he's not valued. He's already cried alone. He's already struggled in silence. He's already faced storms with no one by his side. So he's not afraid of losing anyone anymore, because he knows exactly what he brings to the table. He offers loyalty, strength, and peace, not desperation. So tell me, is that man dangerous or just finally free?
I'm seeing a lot of stupid discourse on that video I made about how like a lot of women today just are not as emotionally intelligent or mature as they think they are, just because men have so classically been the ones lacking that like now when the gap closes, you stop working on it. But the ironic part is I feel like when y'all see me make videos, you think that I agree with your incel points. Cause like I swear the only reason I don't like making videos about like women's accountability is because I always get red pill incel losers in the comments saying the dumbest shit. Then I gotta check you in the comments. Like I'm making comments and statements about just that is. I don't have a personal feeling against women or for men. I have a personal feeling for people who want to better themselves and the world around them. I'm anti. So it's like I get annoyed because I'll make a video about something that is real. Like women who actually do have a level of selfishness with them that they will never have corrected because they just never believe they have to, and they uphold some perfection they have. And then they listen to the echo chambers online saying that they're great the way they are and they never have to do anything to adjust. However, again, the existence of that has nothing to do with the fact that there are also an incredibly large amount of you male loser bozos who are part of the reason that continues. It's a never-ending cycle. Women don't want to hear from the men they do like, because then they'll just tell themselves how that man was the wrong one, he's sassy, he's all these things. But there are also a lot of you lame dudes. Like, they're not wrong. Both things are true. And I wish more of you were not so dumb, because then we could have any progress once we realize we all got to work on.
Listen, I'm a girl's girl, but that doesn't mean that I'm gonna sit here and agree with everything that we do. We talk about wanting something different, wanting a godly man, wanting to be chosen, but then we're out here entertaining men that we know we don't even like. We keep conversations going just for the attention, entertaining someone's interest just because it feels nice to be wanted. And I say this from experience because there was once a time where God had to deal with me personally on that. He showed me just how selfish that really was, how careless it is to play with someone's emotions just because you're lonely or bored or craving validation, and how it doesn't just hurt them, it damages you too. We love to talk about men needing to guard our hearts, but when's the last time that we guarded theirs? If you know that there's nothing there, then stop entertaining it. Stop replying just because it feels good to be wanted. And let's be real, that's not protecting your peace, that's feeding your pride, and it's not maturity, it's manipulation. And then we have the audacity to turn around and say, there's no good men left. No, there are good men, we just don't know what to do with them. We mishandle them. We use them as fillers for the emotional space that we never surrender to God. We keep saying that dating is hard, but it's not hard. It's us. We've normalized leading people on. We've romanticized being unavailable, and we've made ego look like confidence. But God can't bless that. He's not going to send you something sacred when you still treat hearts like they're disposable. So yes, I am a girl's girl, but I'm also going to hold my sisters accountable. And if you can't honor someone's heart, then you're not ready to ask God for theirs.
Men over 50 are almost twice as likely as women to marry out of the West. So these guys are literally, they've exhausted their options in the West or in their town or in their city or even in their country, and they're expanding their dating map. So what's actually even more interesting is that guys are actually they're starting younger doing this too. So like guys who are in their 20s and 30s are like, I'm not even going to start like dating in my community. I'm going to look abroad first, which is kind of insane to me. Like, you got to test the waters first before you even go out there.
Silence is my trade. Shut up. Lockjaw. Dividends, lockjaw.
What the? There's no way y'all love these animals more than how you love yourself. That cat is clawing your face in. You're there loving on that cat while it completely hates you. If I have a cat, which I will never have, by the way, but if I do have a cat who attacks me the way that that cat is attacking you, he'd be gone. Why are you keeping that cat around?
So you're a good guy that's been friend zoned. I need you to listen to this. The girl that decided to friend zone you has no say in your worth. See, because she doesn't know you like that. And I know that you think that she's beautiful and you want her to know you like that, and your intentions are pure, so you think that she should give you a shot. But she can't make you see her like that, even if she wanted to. So do you want to, and why would you want to keep somebody in your life that is unable to give you what you want, and also probably keeping you distracted to the point where it's keeping you from getting what you desire?
You know, I actually got to agree with Ashley. Try to gravitate towards a woman that's soft. Well, you know, she's kind of saying what Kevin Samuels was saying. A woman that's fit, feminine, and friendly, right? Soft woman that is friendly, you know, basically meaning that she knows how to conduct herself, even in times of stress. She is going to reciprocate, which is what a lot of men are looking for. Yeah. I mean, that can't argue with that. That's what most men are looking for. It's just with these modern women, it's hard to find.
Most women think a good man is hard to find. The truth? A lot of them find one and push him away. Number one, he doesn't need constant attention. He enjoys your company, but he's perfectly fine on his own too. Number two, he won't compete with other men for you. If he feels like he has to fight for basic respect, he'll simply walk away. Number three, He listens carefully, but he doesn't always agree. A mature man can understand your feelings without abandoning his own opinion. Number 4, he doesn't play games, no mixed signals. No mind games, no disappearing and reappearing for attention. Number 5, he expects accountability. If he apologizes when he's wrong, he expects the same from you. Number 6, he values peace more than being right, but don't mistake that for weakness. He simply refuses to waste energy on unnecessary conflict. Number 7, he notices effort. The small things matter to him more than grand promises. Number 8, if he feels unwanted long enough, he leaves. Not to teach you a lesson, not to make you chase him, because eventually everyone gets tired of feeling unappreciated. The hardest truth about good men is this: most of them don't leave because they stopped loving you. They leave because they stopped feeling valued.
Women have a lot of responsibility. They are indeed the gatekeepers of sex, but then it comes down to also ultimately the man, because she would have absolutely no power if men just said no.
Okay, but in order for you to be a leader, you need to have people that are prepared to follow. And the fact of the matter is, you can be a fantastic leader, but because you have feminist propaganda, it is impossible for men to lead. Women demanded equality.
I agree.
You got it. You can't lead someone who wants to mutiny and who is not prepared to follow. Here's the thing: a lot of women want leadership, and they're honestly biologically and evolutionarily attracted to leadership traits in men. Decisive, dominant, masculine, leader. However, these same women do not want to follow. Your point was, it's men's fault. Like when it comes to hookup culture, it's men to blame. But if I were to tell you that more women engage in hookup culture than do men, what would you say to that?
I would say that the women wouldn't be able to if the man said no in the beginning.
Well, my position is, it's not like an equal distribution of people engaging in hookup culture. There's a higher proportion of women who are engaging in hookup culture than there are men, because women are more capable of engaging in hookup culture.
The problem I'm seeing with women these days is, number 1, you're not submissive. Number 2, you don't even want to cook and clean for your man, and then you want to complain that the dating market is You're not taking care of your man, and you want to complain, oh, there's no good men out there. Of course there's no good men out there, because you're not ready to do the things that a woman should be doing for her man. Do you think my man could ever come home and there is not a hot meal ready for him? Absolutely not. Do you think my man could ever come home and the house is in a mess? Absolutely not. Why? Because he's the leader of the household. And whilst he's out there making the money, I'm at home making money and taking care of our daughter, cooking and cleaning. And before you say anything, I'm actually a married woman. So if you're not married, I don't want to hear nothing from you. These days, I'm even seeing girls where the man will be saying something to them in a relationship, and instead of them to just be like, okay, do you know what, I understand what you're saying, they're fighting back. What is happening to women these days? Why are you not respecting your man as the leader of the household? And I know some of you are going to look at this and think, oh, she's being a pick-me, I'm not being a pick-me. First of all, I have been picked because I'm married, which automatically puts me over here, whereas you lot are still here. Number 2, just because I know how to respect a man doesn't mean I'm a pick-me. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
I will never go on a date with a woman. I will never be in a relationship ever again. It's too risky. I'm terrified of women. After going through a silver bullet divorce over the last 4 years and losing everything, because what I've learned since my divorce, women can say whatever they want. The man has to prove his innocence. She doesn't have to prove what she said he did. That's terrifying. And I don't hate women. I know there are good women out there. But since all of that, and what I've seen on social media from all the toxic, narcissistic women coming after me for talking about what men go through, it's too much of a risk. And I know what you're going to say, so let's go ahead and get this out of the way. Yes, 75% of all homicides in relationships are men and women. Absolutely horrible. It's around 1,650 a year. There's been about 11,000 over the last 5 years. It should never happen. Well, let me give you another stat. Every year, about 40,000 men commit in the United States. Even if 5% of those men commit because of false allegations, because of a silver bullet divorce, it's 2,000 men that were pushed to kill themselves because of what a woman did to them. Women will say, well, he couldn't handle it himself. That's his problem. That's what the legal system says. But here's the reality. If she would have put false allegations on him, if she would have done all these nasty things to him to take everything, he'd still be here. And that number's low, I guarantee you. An ex-judge told me, you'll never get real false allegation data because if they prosecuted false allegations, the entire system would fail.
And comment 1 says, good men probably don't need a matchmaker, and there are a lot of lovely women.
This is why I don't charge the guys.
Yeah.
In all seriousness, my straight guys, I just don't charge. I started off charging everyone. I'm a feminist. I believe that everyone should be paying the same for the same service. But the women, the guys that they were interested, the street women I was setting up, wanted a certain type of guy, and that type of guy didn't want to pay for matchmaking.
Yeah.
My husband is someone who was part of that. And so, and that's a whole other thing I'm sure we'll get into at some point. But yeah, I stopped charging straight guys, and I was like, just let me
Did you
take
find like more
get it.
success in that?
Oh, I had that's when all my all the
Yeah.
success stories took off,
That's
because
amazing.
I was able to get good looking, grounded, successful guys that didn't think they like needed the help, and it wasn't a bruise to their ego to be like, okay, I guess you could set me up if it's not going to cost anything.
Yeah.
I insist that they treat on the date, they invest in the women invest in the service, and everyone's getting something out of it.
I like that. That's great. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, put your
I-
money into your date rather like I'll help you
Exactly.
out. Yeah, that's great. Wow.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's ungrateful. And the moment that you realize that, it makes it so much easier for you to pick up the pieces and move on with your mother life. I can't tell you the countless of conversations that I've had with men discussing why they getting divorced, discussing the separation, discussing the breakups, and they always tell me about how much they poured into their family, how much they provided, how much they been there for the woman, how much they neglected themselves and gave up on their dreams, their goals, and their aspirations just for the happiness of the woman and the family. And now that you guys are splitting apart, she acting like don't none of that mean nothing. It's ungrateful. Understand that, dog, and I'm telling you, it makes it easier for you to come to the conclusion that ain't a good woman to be with. I don't give a how many times y'all cuddle. I don't give a how good the years was. I don't give a how good the relationship used to be. I don't give a we need to focus on what is now. If you a man that's in a situation to where you dealing with a woman, to where it seems like no matter what you do, it's never enough, you need to man the up, drop that off, and move on with your damn life.
In talking to many women over the years, the number one thing that they want in a man is a leader. They want someone they can trust to lead them and the relationship in the right direction. But then there's a lot of uncertainty and fear of letting go and allowing a man to be a man. And I actually sympathize with them, because for this certain type of woman, she hasn't been led properly, so she's been stuck in survival mode her whole life. I have to do it all or it won't be done. The first law in human nature is self-preservation. So when they meet an actual man, there's a bit of a power struggle because she feels threatened by his biological propensity to lead. It's viewed as a threat by her nervous system. And I guess I'm just giving some insight to the men out there who are dating a I can do it all by myself woman. And to the ladies out there, there's so much power in your softness and femininity that I don't think you truly realize. But once you unlock that, watch how fulfilling your relationships become. Now, I know there's a lot of women out there that say they want a man to bring out the feminine in them. And my response to those women is, what if a man you start dating told you that he's masculine, but he wants you to bring that out of him? Would you continue to date him?
Every single person with a septum piercing are the same crazy fit online that cancel everyone and go crazy and are weird.
Why do you like to make fun of my septum piercing?
Zoom in on that. That's why.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. Most of the times when you see it, you can expect some crazy dumb. I literally saw a video the other day with a female with one of those piercing, and it turns out that she wasn't talking some dumb. And I was shocked. I'm not even gonna lie.
Women, y'all don't appreciate how good y'all gotta be, because any man would take you serious even though you got an air mattress if you look like this. Imagine being a dude with an air mattress and how quick you gonna be in a group chat. She'll be like, girl, he got an air mattress. And we was watching a movie and it deflated a little bit, and we was rolling into each other. And he had to get up and pump it up, and then it just said,
And once again, you listen to the story time was I paid for a matchmaker, and she kept setting me up with broke men. And the woman was like, I stopped charging my male clients. I couldn't get any guys to sign up. You're not the only one. You're not the only one. Once again, I was listening to someone just recently, and they were saying, you know, they didn't want to say it at first, but then they fool around and say, we cannot get men to sign up. So we're gonna have to be flexible. Their first match is free because they not paying. And that's most men are saying, you know, the juice isn't worth the squeeze. I'm not going to pay for something. Then you set me up with a trash match. I'm paying a lot of money for this. You set me up with a trash match. And now I'm out of money on the matchmaking side for your fee. And then I'm out of money for the date, right? Let's say your fee is $200. It's not going to be that because you're a high value matchmaker, right? So I mean, honestly and truly, you probably gonna make me pay $1,000 at least, to be honest. So I'm paying $1,000, and then because I'm a high value man, they're gonna expect me to have bare minimum $500 dinner. I'm out $1,500. Well, you're a millionaire, this and that. Wealthy men spend on what they value. You're not valued yet. If I like a car or something like that, like say I'm trying to restore a car or something like that, I'll spend the money on it because it's something that I value. It's something that I know I'm going to get a return on investment on. I might be able to take that car and show it at car shows, or I might be able to drive it. Reminds me of my childhood. I'm going to get something back from it. I'm going to get a benefit from it. But y'all are thinking just because I'm, well, oh man, you're a millionaire. You got the money. It's not for you. It's for my kids. I have them. It's for my family. I help my mom out, I help my daddy out, right? If I have my family and I want to help them out, then I do. But you're not entitled to my money. So that's what's happening. Y'all are out here trying to get in contact with these wealthy men and have these wealthy men bow down to you and do what you say. And the wealthy men say what most average men are saying. Nope. I'm not going to be paying for that. Okay, well, let me just set you up with somebody. Well, and that's why when all my success started happening. Yeah, because women kept on paying into the program and it made your job harder because you couldn't find any man that wanted to pay into your program. So you said, okay, I'll let you do it for free. And so now you have a steady flow of women coming in, right? You already had it. But when women see these success stories, you have more women coming in and your business grows. And your only job every day is to essentially find the highest value man. And he's going to be able to have his pick of the litter, which is what Kevin Samuels and a lot of these other dating, or I guess, red pill or manosphere or whatever you want to call them. That's what they've been saying. But y'all keep on saying that the men are toxic and they giving terrible advice. But the men that they telling you about are moving this way. They're telling you. And you still, boy, that's toxic, man. You're better and that's a cult. And then the men come out and say, no, I'm not going to be doing that. I'm not going to be there. What you want the men to do? They told you the truth. And you didn't like it. And you played yourself.